It's Friday, April 5, 2024. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the news on 3FM 92.7. We're coming to you live from our studios here at number 35 John Hammond Street in Accra. We're live also on all our social media platforms at 3FM 927, also on 3news.com. Coming up this morning, flag bearer of the Movement for Change, Alan Kyerematen, forms alliance with other political parties. Meanwhile, political watchers say the move could whip some votes from the major political parties in their favor.
It is a good move by Alan and the other smaller parties to team up. You know, I think the timing is very important. But as to whether Ghanaians believe they will have a very credible chance of winning is another matter.
We hear details in the bulletin. Also, Chief Justice to set out a vision for the judiciary in the coming days.
My hope is that in less than 2 years, every member of judicial service staff would have had some paralegal training.
And in this discussion, it should be transparent. Let the people understand. And if I had my own way, the cameras would be in the room because it's a national issue. Doing so affects all of us.
And finally, NDC flag bearer vows to shut down sanitation ministry if it wins power.
We will close down the Ministry of Sanitation. 1, to reduce expenditure. And 2, I don't see any use.
We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you shortly if you stay with us. Welcome to the program. Let's get into the details of the stories. In our first story this morning, pollster Musa Dankwa says the formation of a new alliance between Alan Kyerematen and other political parties will certainly whip away some votes from the two major political parties, particularly the governing NPP. Alan Kyerematen sealed the deal with the National Interest Movement led by Dr. Abusakara Foster with a new party now called Alliance for Revolutionary Change, ARC. But first, here's spokesperson for the Movement for Change, Duke Sasu, speaking.
The clout is not in individual. It is a broad-based element of getting diverse people who understand the concerns of Ghanaians. Because Ghanaians have come to a point where it is about how you can have a message that essentially their interest and their concerns. We will only know who and who are the key elements or stakeholders in this alliance during the launch. All what has been announced through the press release or press statement is that the National Interest Movement, which is led by Mr. Abusakara, are parties to the alliance. And let me correct the wrong perceptions out there that the alliance has agreed on the revered Abusakara as the running mate. That is not the case.
And that was a spokesperson for the Movement for Change, Duke Sasu, speaking. We can now hear from the Executive Director of the Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, who says everybody must be worried, particularly the two major parties.
It is a good move by Alan and the other smaller parties to team up. You know, I think the timing is very important. But as to whether Ghanaians believe they will have a very credible chance of winning is another matter. You know, in creating the third force, it's not a short-term project. It has to be a long-term project. And you have to look at ahead maybe 2 or 3 election cycles away. And for now, this is, I think, too short for you to have a very massive impact. You must build your credibility over time. Let people believe in you and make it as a project that over the next 2 or 3 election cycles, you want to break the duopoly of NDC and NPP.
You hear the voice of Musa Dankwa. He's the Executive Director of Global Info Analytics there. 2 other stories this morning. The Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo, has indicated that the lack of legal training for court staff in Ghana serves as a great weakness in the country's judicial system. She said in other jurisdictions, registrars of the court are persons with paralegal training. She cited Malawi as one of the countries with a high court judge as a court registrar. She made the pronouncement at a media briefing in Accra.
If you notice, some years ago, this must have been like 20 years ago, we had lawyers who were court managers and who were registrars. And many of them got attracted to private practice and they left. Indeed, the registrar of the Court of Appeal is also a judge. And I'm very much on my way looking for lawyers to be registrars everywhere. And this is why we've developed the paralegal training even for every member of staff. My hope is that in less than 2 years, every member of judicial service staff would have had some paralegal training.
The voice of the Chief Justice, Gertrude Torkornoo, there. Meanwhile, the Chief Justice will set out a vision for the judiciary in the coming days. Away from that, energy expert Kwame Jantua says government must be transparent in the meeting scheduled with power producers on Saturday. According to him, the country is facing unprecedented challenges in its power management. Gridco, in its latest report, said 4 thermal plants, collectively capable of generating 595 megawatts, are offline due to inadequate fuel supply, while a fault in the Tico Unit 3 plant has rendered 120 megawatts unavailable until December 2024, impacting the entire year's power generation by that capacity.
And in this discussion, it should be transparent. Let the people understand. And if I had my own way, the cameras would be in the room because it's a national issue. Doing so affects all of us. And for me, I believe if government came out and said, look, we don't have full DUMSO, but we have partial DUMSO going on. Because this letter from Gridco shows we are in a DUMSO situation. We are. And government shouldn't, cover their heads with a cloak and make it look as if there's no DUMSO. There is some degree of DUMSO.
Lawyer Kwame Jantua there. Now, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has given the firm assurance to close down the sanitation ministry and send it back to the local government ministry. President Kufuor in 2017 promised to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa, but the former president is challenging this claim. He made the announcement when he addressed students at the Wisconsin University in Accra.
We will close down the Ministry of Sanitation. 1, to reduce expenditure, and 2, I don't see any use. Accra, our country is dirtier than when there was no Ministry of Sanitation. Indeed, this country was cleaner when sanitation was under local government than as a standalone ministry. And so we'll close down that ministry and we'll take the sanitation schedule back to local government. Indeed, because we want to reduce government expenditure, it's not only the sanitation ministry. In transport, aviation and railways, we're going to close them down.
John Dramani Mahama there. Let's do some education now, as Education Watch is advocating for government to swiftly approve the 20% teacher motivation allowance to enhance teaching and learning. In 2009, the teacher unions proposed the allowance to encourage teachers to accept postings to underserved and rural communities. Here's educationist Anis Hafa speaking at the Media General Star Ghana Forum on education.
For enhanced learning,
we cannot have illiteracy passing off as teaching standards. Are you with me? We have to raise our teachers to a point where there's the enthusiasm, number one, to go into place to teach. Can you imagine how difficult it will be for you to stand in front of young people when you are not prepared? How do we help teachers to give of them the best of themselves? Because students are quite interesting people. They can come to a classroom and find out a teacher who is not prepared and organized.
Anis Hafa is an educationist there. And that's it for the morning news on 3FM 92.7. The small news always on our website, 3news.com. Please log on for more. Help me welcome Helen Apiampo. Helen, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I've started calling myself the queen of the morning. Is that presumptuous?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You see, what is that? Obian blow then. Obian blow ohona and as Obian blow trumpeter. Just yeah. Just do it for yourself. Good morning, lads. How are we feeling?
We're good. We're well.
What's the weekend looking like? It's Friday. That's what the kids say. Friday. Just so the weekend is here. I'm sure both of you have a sitting or two.
No, please.
No?
Home,
unfortunately, we'll have to come to work on Saturday.
Okay.
So Saturday is the weekend proper. If
Yes,
you come
so-
to work on the weekend.
And then a weekend, a ball. What about you, Michael? Any sittings planned for the weekend?
Home sweet home.
When was the last time you had like a sitting with the boys?
I'm not a boys.
Oh, really? You don't like when they surround yourself with some meat,
Charlie,
some good drink, some good convo?
I have a very routine life.
Yeah, you have things to do, Charlie.
You understand?
A busy guy.
Straight to the point.
Oh, Cross, what about you? When was your last sitting with the boys? I don't know you're boring, Nana.
Tell you.
It comes with a job, man.
Listen, in any case, I had a sitting, can I call it a sitting, over the weekend, and Nanado took the light, so he took the steam out of the whole sitting. Congratulations, though, it was an engagement sitting to Sweetie and Komo, aka Commotion, aka Komo.
That was yesterday.
That was on Sunday, so when we were told that we don't have any Doomsaw challenges, right at the sitting of Sweetie and Komo, the lights.
How do you put the two together?
What do you have to put the two together?
So you know there's a
Oh yeah, so we called the sweet commotion. So hashtag sweet commotion. So congrats again to Sweetie and Komo on your union. But Doomso came and spoiled the show. In any case, I digress. Thank you so much, Noble Crosby Allen, for that update at 6 a.m. The business news is coming right up.